Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to hop on here and give you guys a little story time about when I was um 16 and I was married already at the time. Well, not legally married, but I was living with the father of my daughter. And I was just remembering, like, well, I was at my mom's house today and we were talking about just, random stuff. And she was, and we are talking about how, like, when people go through a divorce and that's when you actually get to know the person or whatever. So I was 16 at the time and he was 21. Yeah. So I remember I used to work at McDonald's at the time and I used to walk. I would walk if I had to. Walking, it was like a 30-40 minute walk. If not, it was like one street. Like, it was just one street that took you straight to my job. And from my house to McDonald's, it was like one street, right? So it was like a 30-40 minute walk, I think. And then maybe a little bit longer. But if most of the times there was a bus that went out the road, which most of the times I'll catch it, like going to work or coming back or whatever. Sometimes my parents will give me a ride. So one time I came back on the bus, and then sometimes, well, he already knew my, time I was coming out, so he would wait for me on the bus stop, or he'll pick me up there or whatever, and then we'll walk home or whatever. So I remember I was there, and I was there for like 5 minutes because there was like a 7-Eleven, and I know there was a grocery store there, like an Albertsons. So I was like, maybe he went, because sometimes he'll go in the stores and then I'll see him like rushing to me when I was already there waiting or barely getting there. So I was like, oh, maybe he went to the store. So I waited for like 5 minutes. He never showed up. So I was like, okay, he didn't come. I'm going home. I'm walking home. And I went through like a little, like a empty lot that was, on my way walking home. And I'm walking there and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, minding my business. And I can see our apartment where we used to live at. And I see that he's outside smoking or something. And I was like, oh, whatever. I didn't think much about it. I was just like, he's here. Tell me why I get there and he's pissed. He's mad. He's like super mad. Because he could have sworn that somebody brought me home. That I did not come in the bus. Because he was there waiting for me. And I'm assuming, now that I think about it, so I'm assuming that maybe he was waiting for me in the bus after or something. I don't freaking know, like, what the hell happened. But he was super mad. He was like telling me that somebody from work bought me, that maybe I was, being a freaking hoe, that that's why I wasn't there the time that he got there. And just like all this crap. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, I worked all day. I think that day I did like a 10-hour shift. I remember I used to work a lot when I was working at McDonald's. Like, I wanted to make my money, and because he would hardly even work, so I was always thinking about getting everything paid and having money for us. So he wouldn't care about that. He was always tripping on something. So I was like, what the hell, you're tripping? Like, no, 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 no. Hoping he gets high so he can leave me the, fuck alone. So yeah, that was that. I was just like, no, like, I knew I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I also knew how he was. So sometimes I would just, I mean, I told him the truth. He didn't believe it. So sometimes I'll make stuff up. Like, I missed it. I missed the bus or something. I don't freaking know. I don't remember. I just remember that he would make a freaking scene for the most stupidest things, So I remember we were fighting that night, whatever. We go to sleep. The next day in the morning, I didn't work. And he kept on, just tripping about the same thing over and over again, telling me the same thing. Who brought you home? And who the fuck you being a hoe with? What the hell are you doing? Let me catch you. Like, just freaking going off. To me, it was like something normal because that was just the way he was. But I mean, he was just going crazy and just tripping. There was times that he'll put hands on me and stuff like that. So that was one of the days. And he just, things escalated, and I just told him, like, I'm gonna call my mom to come pick me up. Like, I'm not trying to do this, whatever. And tell me why we're like sitting there arguing, and we had Brady bought a brand new TV. It was big. I remember it was like our first big TV that we bought for the apartment. And he starts tripping about that, like, oh, you're gonna leave? Well, if you're gonna leave, you're gonna go and you're not gonna take nothing. Like, I bought this and I bought that. And I was like, ew, like inside of me, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't care. Like, keep whatever you want. As far as I don't have nobody messing with me and up my butt, like complaining and accusing me of things that I'm not even doing, go for it. Take whatever. Keep everything, I was just like, whatever. I had everything at my parents' house, so I wasn't even tripping about the TV or anything that he wanted to keep. And I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I didn't grow up thinking or like fighting for material stuff, so I'm not materialistic like that. So I was just like, whatever, you keep it. I think he realized and he just wanted to piss me. I was just like, yeah, whatever, I didn't think he was actually gonna do it. Tell me when he takes that TV off of the on top of those like TV stands, and picks it up, and he like opens the door and he starts telling me like he's taking this and that, and I was like, okay. I didn't think he was gonna do this. He picks up the freaking TV, puts it like on top of him, like carries it, and he starts walking away. And I was like, what the hell? And I'm just sitting there like, wait, is he actually gonna leave and take the TV? Like, what the hell's going on? And he's leaving with the TV on top of him. I saw him walk away. His car had broke down around that time. And I remember he was leaving and starts walking with the TV. I was like, dude, the TV, I'm not gonna lie to you, I know it was like a good, I don't know, maybe like a 50-inch TV. It was a big TV. He starts walking with it, and I was like, at the time I was like, what the hell? Like, I was embarrassed because I was like, the neighbors, like some of the neighbors knew us, we used to barbecue together and stuff like that. So I was like, oh my god, like, ugh. But then I did call my mom. I remember I called my mom, and she was already on the way for me and everything. So when she gets here and I tell her, my mom starts cracking up. Like, my mom starts laughing, and she was just like, what the hell? Like, oh my god, like, I kind of feel like now, I mean, now that we talked, like today we were talking about it, and she was telling me like, dude, like, what did you expect from him? Like, that was what he was, like, just fighting for the most dumbest stuff. But we always, like, she always clowns on me. She goes, that's ugly. Like, what kind of man takes freaking things from, from his girl? You had his daughter, whatever. But it looked kind of funny, though. Like, he was walking around with the TV and shit. And I remember he was wearing, like, a muscle shirt. So it looked, like, really ghetto. I was like, oh, my God. What's the worst part? He came back with it, too, like, 2 days later. And I came back to the apartment, too. It was just like a little show, that we used to do. I was 16, so I feel like I was a dumb little girl. Just being dumb, but I don't know. I have so many stories of those. Like, this man was crazy, and I was dumb too. Like, just for sticking around for that kind of bullshit, But it was funny, though, I'm not gonna lie. Now that I think of it. No, my mom even told me, she was telling me today, like, it's funny how when you told me, you were like, Mom, he took the TV. And that I looked at her, and then she looks at me, and we both start cracking up. Like, what the hell? Like, but that was kind of funny. Embarrassing, but it was funny. But yeah, I was like, let me hop on here real quick and give you guys a little story time. It was in my head and I was remembering, so I was like, let me document this real quick. But yeah, just hopped on here for that. I'll give you guys another little story time on my next one. Bye.